Street marches hold across some southwest states in Nigeria as they are asking that Operation Amotekun must be retained in the region. Saying in some of their placards, Amotekun must stay. And today, 9 members of the Imo State House of Assembly have switched sides and cross-carpeted to the APC, showing solidarity for the governor, Hope Uzodinma. The deputy speaker also resigns his appointment. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimberley at Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos. Let's begin from Imo State with some of the breaking news that came earlier on and we've been following for you. There's been some political disruption in the Imo State House of Assembly. This is because the Deputy Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, Oke Onyekama, has resigned. His letter of resignation was read by the Speaker of the House during plenary on Tuesday. Mr. Onyekama equally resigned as a chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business. And also, 9 members of the House who were formerly members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Action Alliance, AA, and the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, have all defected to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Also, the minority leader, Ekene Dimele, also resigned his position and announced his defection from the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Most of the lawmakers who defected to the APC gave reasons of political crisis in their former parties. The APC National Organizing Secretary, Mr. Ima Ibedero, has reacted to the recent defection of 10 lawmakers in the Imo State House of Assembly to the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Imo State. Ibedero, who received the lawmakers on behalf of the national chairman of the party, represented the national chairman at the House of Assembly in Owerri, says that the recent development is good for democracy in the country, as it will also strengthen the relationship between the executive and the legislature in the state.
Other members of other parties joined All Progressive Congress to give credence to the emergence of distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma as the governor of Imo State. But be that as it may, All Progressive Congress and Action Alliance are one party. We are interwoven, so that is just basically what happened. And we just cross over. It's not, I don't call it defection, but we cross over to the All Progressive Congress.
We witnessed a number of defections today, about 9 members of different parties, especially the ABGA, originally ABGA members who moved to PDP. A number of them have moved back to the APC. Some of the AA members, in fact, all of the Action Alliance members have also moved. So a number of 9 members have moved to the ruling party, the APC. They have 1 originally, and that brings the APC to a total of 10 members. But of course, we still have about 16, standing out there in the opposition. The end is not yet seen. We expect that there will be, some more dramatic sessions.
Meanwhile, that was happening at the legislative arm of government in Imo State. In the executive, the governor, Senator Hope Uzodinma, has given his first address to the people of the state. In that address, the governor is asking for the support of the people of the state and other stakeholders to make him succeed in his task as the #1 citizen of the Southeast State, Imo. Let's now check out some other stories we're following for you on our political roundup.
The Supreme Court today affirmed the elections of Governor Samuel Otam of Benue State and Amadou Fintiri of Adamawa State. In the Benue appeal, a unanimous judgment delivered by Justice Sylvester Nguta agreed with the concurrent findings of the Election Petition Tribunal and the Court of Appeal. In the other judgment delivered, the Apex Court upheld the election of Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has sworn in 2 new resident electoral commissioners to fill the void left by the exit of the Cross River State resident electoral commissioner and the one in Taraba State who died last year. The 2 new resident electoral commissioners are Dr. Alaibo Sinikim Johnson from Bayelsa State and Omar Gajeram from Borno State. Dr. Johnson will replace the former REC in Cross River State, while Mr. Gajeram will replace the former REC of Taraba State. Uche Nwosu, the Action Alliance governorship candidate in the last governorship elections in Imo State, has directed all his supporters and members of the Action Alliance in the state to support the new APC administration led by Governor Hope Uzodinma. Ms. Nwosu disclosed this in Owerri, the Imo State capital, at a meeting with all members and supporters of the Action Alliance, as well as members of the Uche Nwosu campaign organization. He says he and his supporters all across the 27 local government areas of the state have accepted the Supreme Court ruling that led to the emergence of Senator Hope Uzodinma as the governor of Imo State. He says he's back as a member of the All Progressives Congress, and hence there is no more division or rancor in the APC in Imo State. It appears there will soon be improvement in power supply in Nasarawa State. Governor Abdullahi Sule hinted this when he inspected the ongoing work at the National Integrated Power Project Power Substation in Lafia local government area.
The contractors are indicating 85% of the job has been completed.
The acting national chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, says more extraditions of Nigerians who looted the country's resources will soon be made for them to face the punishment of corruption. He noted that non-confirmation as the substantive chairman did not bother him, as it did not stop him from doing his work of dealing with looters. The fight against corruption, according to him, has been renewed this year, as anyone found guilty will be prosecuted. On the insinuation that the agency office was established in Kwara to deal with the former Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, he denied, saying Kwara, being one of the oldest states, deserved to be given one earlier and not targeted at any particular person.
Okay. We are going to request more extraditions. We will bring back all the looters who are hiding outside this country.
So you have it. You are up to speed with some of the latest political stories in the land, except for the one we will be dissecting tonight. So get a seat, everyone, and get a sense of what has happened today. One of the most talked about story in the top political story we're following for you right here on Channels Television. Amotekun spirit was unleashed today in some southwest region of the country. That is not literally, though, but it came in the form of a street march. As today, supporters of the Southwest Initiative, Amotekun, stormed the street in a solidarity rally. The street march is held in Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, and Oyo State. Today, the marchers are expressing support for the Southwest governors, insisting that the outfit is to complement the efforts of security agencies and not to rival them. Well, Operation Amotekun was launched by the governors of southwestern state as part of an integrated approach to fight crime in the region. But the federal government has described the initiative as illegal. According to the government, no other authority at a state level, whether the executive or legislature, has the legal authority over defense, and that statement has generated so many reactions. Let us get a sense of the import of today's street rallies, the federal government stance, and the Amotekun concept. I'm being joined tonight by the leader of the group which led the rallies across these states today, the Yoruba World Congress leader, Professor Banji Akintoye. Thank you so much, Professor, for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
And from our Abuja studio is a security expert, Mr. Kabir Adamu. Thank you so much, Mr. Adamu, for coming on tonight on the program. Let me start with you, Professor. What we saw today is a solidarity march. Your members call it. But it does look also that some of the language and some of the inscriptions seen on the placard is showing resilience of members of those marchers that they want Amotekun to stay, but the federal government said it's illegal.
Well, the federal government cannot say it is illegal. The state authority is the security official for each state. And if the state authorities of the Southwest come together to say this is the way they can carry out that security duty, I don't think the federal government has a right to call it illegal.
Professor?
We in the Southwest have the very uncomfortable feeling that the federal government, the people running the federal government, have no feeling at all for our difficulties. They know that since 2014, our land has been again and again attacked, invaded actually, by people from other parts of Nigeria who have actually made statements to the effect that they are coming to kill, to maim, to destroy, to take our land and bring their kinsmen from other parts of West Africa to take our land. And the federal government has done nothing about that. The federal government has not even done anything, has gone as far as to rebuke the people making such statements and the people doing those things to us. It has come to the point that our state governors have now stepped forward to take action about it. And we are very grateful to them.
So, I mean, the major, so you're saying that the move by the Southwest leaders and the governors is specifically against those who said they want to invade the Southwest states. Is that it?
Yeah, they have come to invade. But you see, what usually happens when a country is being invaded is that local criminals also rev up their act to hide under the invasion and do their usual things more on a larger scale. And so we have seen in the western zone, as the invaders have come in, killing, maiming, destroying farms and villages and attacking people, even eminent citizens like Chief Olufalaye, and killing people on the highways, and kidnapping for ransom, and taking millions of naira from Yoruba families to ransom their people who have been kidnapped. And local criminals have said, oh, we can't leave this into these people. We too can take a little bit of some of this money.
Professor,
Yeah.
are you planning Oduduwa Republic?
What has this got to do with the Oduduwa Republic?
Are you planning
Does
that?
our safety, protecting our people, ourselves, does that lead necessarily to Oduduwa Republic? It doesn't.
That's the kind of feeling some people who are not comfortable with the Amotekun concept are saying, that the leaders are simply planning an Oduduwa Republic.
They are not comfortable. I'm sorry for them for not being comfortable. They had better be comfortable, because this is something we are going to do, and we are not going to be distracted by people who want to drag other things along the way in order to dissuade us or push us from doing what we are doing. We will do it. We will protect our home, and we are the only people, of the major peoples of Nigeria, we are the only ones who have never said we want to secede from Nigeria. If we want to secede, the world will know. But this is not it. We want to protect our people.
There's no plan for Oduduwa Republic, Professor?
No. If there was a plan for Oduduwa Republic, a lot of us will know. I do not know of any such plan.
Okay, we'll take a breather. But when we come back, there's few information I would like to show you about the Amotekun concept, the objectives they have, what has become of it from the first day that it was mentioned, and up to today, what has happened. A few of the timeline and the objectives I will show you. I get to also listen to our security expert from our Abuja studio. Don't go anywhere. The conversation seems to have just started. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get back to the conversation quickly. Professor Banji Akintoye, Yoruba leader, speaking to us on the Amotekun concept and the plan of the Yoruba leaders, the governors, in the security of the Southwest region. From our Abuja studio is Mr. Kabir Adamu, a security expert. Before I come to you, Mr. Adamu, take a look at this. First and foremost, let me show everyone the timeline. Where we started from. It was on the 9th of January when the Southwest governors launched Operation Amotekun. Professor was there also, and they make a declaration of what they intended to do with it. I'll show you some of the objectives in a short while. On the 10th, which is the following day, the federal government came out with from the Office of the Attorney General to declare Amotekun an illegal outfit. The 10th also, the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum challenges AGS declaration that it's not law and it cannot make laws. On the 19th, Yoruba World Congress announced its plans for protest, and today, the 21st of January, we've seen the rally taking effect and demand for recognition of the regional security plan. Let's take a look at the objectives of these concept of Amotekun. One of it is that they want zero tolerance for crime in the Southwest region. They want that concept to complement the activities of the police and other paramilitary organizations in fighting crime. The headquarters of Operation Amotekun, they say, will be located in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. And they're saying they're made up of Operation Amotekun is made up of specifically higher local hunters, members of vigilante groups, men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Odua People's Congress, OPC. They have 1,320 militiamen that will be employed for this operation. Operation Amotekun, they say, will carry then guns just like the way hunters are allowed to do, and they plan to erase black spots in Southwest region. Mr. Adamu, please weigh in and give us your expertise in the area of security. This concept in the idea of policing that we have in Nigeria, is there anything conflicting?
Thank you for the question. Firstly, let me emphasize that my field of expertise in security is risk management. So a lot of times when I approach questions like this, I approach it from risk management. So I've looked at the various responses, the federal government's response, the Southwest governor's response, and the response by stakeholders, including my co-discussant there. Yes, in the area of policing, there is various levels of support for either federal or state policing units. In the case of Nigeria, what we have is a federal policing unit. And the Constitution has given recognition for that federal policing unit. However, the practice is that there is no state government in Nigeria, of all the 36 states, that does not have one or the other form of vigilante or neighborhood watch arrangement, and funded actually by taxpayers' money, either at the state level or sometimes even at the federal level. That is the reality. But the constitutional provision is the federal policing system that we understand. Now, some state governments have even gone ahead at the legislative level to pass laws that allowed them to create state-recognized vigilante bodies. However, this is the first time in our recent history, since 1967, that we will have a regional arrangement. And I think that is why we're seeing this type of reaction. It's the first regional arrangement. And from a risk management perspective, the major challenge with Operation Amotekun is the fact that the Southwest governors, the development agenda for Western Nigeria, and other stakeholders that have spoken have not made the operational guidelines clear. So as a risk management expert, if I'm asked to assess it, how can I assess it when I do not know the operational guidelines? Unfortunately, in the midst of that, are issues around stigmatization, as has already been mentioned by my co-discussant, as well as profiling. So already, and I'm sure you've had the contributions by groups like Meti Allah and others who are afraid of that stigmatization and profiling. And to bring it down to us, something similar happened in Zamfara State, where the state government created a vigilante body. And unfortunately, that vigilante body, using profiling and stigmatization, targeted the same ethnic group that is crying foul right now. And the result is what we are seeing in Zamfara today. So from a risk management perspective, the fears are genuine until we know the operational guidelines and we're able to assess those operational guidelines, those fares, unfortunately, will remain valid.
Mr. Adamu, a quick one. I'd like to ask you about two questions, but I need you to answer quickly. First and foremost is that does the manner of operation as listed and the objectives that are listed on TV right now, does it constitute any kind of threat to the federal concept of our governance operation in Nigeria?
No. As far as I'm concerned, as a risk management expert, no. But to be very fair, that is not an objective. Those are structures that you read out. Objective would reel out what Operation Amotekun, in terms of step-by-step, what it hopes to achieve. The other one, of course, would also, you've mentioned the size of Operation Amotekun. How is the recruitment process going to be? Already we've had a group in southwestern Nigeria complaining about the inclusion of a birth certificate based on faith affiliations. So, like I said, the lack of transparency in the operational guidelines, including the objective as well, gives cause for concern. If the body is set
Let me
up
perhaps
for intelligence
quickly ask you this.
gathering,
Apologies also,
support,
Mr. Adamu.
as the
Let
name
me quickly,
suggests.
because I'd like Professor to also respond to some of these issues. But before we close, let me ask you, there is HISBA in some part of the country, which is some kind of security outfit. Is there any difference with this for those who are criticizing Amotekun? If HISBA is in operation, do they have the grounds to criticize Amotekun?
For now, Operation Amotekun's operational guideline is not known to anyone, and I challenge the professor there. If it's available, let him make it public. Let's know what the operational guidelines are. We know the operational guidelines of HISBA, irrespective of our value interpretation of the guidelines. We know what it is, and like I said, there is a state law backing it. I don't want to go into the debate of which comes first, the egg or the chicken. The reality is our Constitution recognizes federal policing. And as a risk management expert, if Operation Amotekun is going to become functional, I expect the southwestern state governors to pass laws through their various state legislatures, explain clearly in a very transparent manner what the operational guidelines are, what the recruitment process are, and then we can now analyze in terms of its risk.
Let me allow Professor Akintoye to respond to some of your concerns. Prof, Mr. Falana said, back it up with the law. He said it last week on this program. And the concern that Mr. Adamu also raised. Some of your reactions, please.
Well, the houses of assembly are going to take action. And then in the laws that they make, more details will be known of Operation Amotekun. What bothers us in the Southwest is this special treatment that we are supposed to accept, where, as you have pointed out, there is a vigilante quasi-police in existence in the North. We in the Southwest are being called secessionists because we are doing exactly as they have done. I think it is time we have a sense of fairness in this country.
So you think the Southwest states have been unfairly treated?
We are being very unfairly treated.
What are you going to do to wrap it up, and let's close now? What are you going to do? Are the leaders of the South, because if you say that the Southwest States House of Assembly are working on making laws, are you going to back down until those laws are made, or what are your actions?
We are not backing down. It's a process. The making of the laws is part of the process of setting up Amotekun. There's no backing down or backing out.
You are moving forward.
We are moving forward.
Professor Banji Akintoye, leader of the Yoruba World Congress, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Mr. Adamu, thank you so much. Kabir Adamu, a security expert, thank you so much for talking to us. Before we go, some of your thoughts and some of the tweets that is sent to us on this matter. The first one from at GOA_Charles. It says, yes, it should stay. It is the beginning of what we need as a country, a true federal state. At Kakra 68, the failure of police of Nigeria is a reason for this. Buhari, Nigeria president, must reform the police very quickly and pay the officers well. Give them what they need to do the job instead of giving millions to hopeless politicians. And the last one coming from at Mac_Opez, it says that be it legal or illegal, security of lives and property of people is not negotiable. To me, Amotekun is a welcome development as it will complement the already stressed federal security agencies. That's how we leave it, everyone. Many thanks for your thoughts. Keep it coming, and let's continue the conversation online. Amotekun, Isba, whatever it may be, please keep safe, everyone. I'm sure Kimale. Bye for now.